and he just launches into an attack and smacks her straight over while she's on the stairs. And once she's kind of basically coming to her senses and realizing what's happened. Hello, it's me, Tamar Lovendeer. If you like the video, do share it, tag your friends, tag your family, and just keep sharing the good vibes. So today's episode of To Know the 24 Hours in Police Custody, it was pretty horrific, not going to lie. And it comes at a time when there is a lot more awareness, a lot more accountability on our society for looking after women, for being active and aware and promoting, more of a reality around violence that women experience at many different levels. So for those of you who've seen the episode, we will talk about it. For those of you who haven't seen the episode, spoiler alert. Go and watch it if you haven't, but spoiler alert, a man who is impersonating an Amazon delivery driver rings the doorbell. One of the women living in the house answers the door, and he just bullies his way in, just launches an attack immediately. We are so lucky that there is CCTV footage of this, because it's horrific. As I was watching it, I was horrified, so I believe it's the youngest 14-year-old answers the door, and he just launches into an attack. Then the camera angle changes to inside the house, and you see I would say the mother, or the eldest of the women, thrown to the ground, bang, just hits the floor. There's screaming, there's shouting, clearly a struggle is taking place, but the size of this man in comparison to these women, it's horrific. So then the camera angle changes to another angle, and the criminal, I don't even want to say his name, give him the credibility. When you Google it afterwards, you'll see. Anyway, he drags the eldest lady from one room to another, then drags the youngest and continues to attack her, even though she's basically on the floor, incapacitated. Just because she's making noise and awake, he starts to attack her even more, because she's signaling for someone else in the house to that there's someone here. So he goes into a room, picks up a couple of things. Who knows what he picks up? They don't actually clarify in the show. They think it was him trying to get the CCTV, but I don't know. So by the time he comes out of the room, and the third person's coming down the stairs, who happens to be maybe in the middle of the age of the three women, and he just launches into an attack and smacks her straight over while she's on the stairs. And once she's kind of basically coming to her senses and realizing what's happened, he carries on, just carries on. He's kind of ordering her into the room with the other two women, and he just smacks her again. So he hits her about 5 times. Probably one of the most violent acts I've seen. Very, very, very concerning. He fractures the youngest girl's eye socket. She's 14 years of age. 14. This man is an international criminal, by the way. He's not your average, typical, everyday, run-of-the-mill man. He is clearly of the highest extent of what I would call a psychopath, criminal, sicko motherfucker. Excuse the language. So that was just disgusting. As the program goes along, you understand that the reason why he's possibly such a disgusting person is because he's involved in organized crime, in running a brothel and female trafficking from Romania. So they're basically saying the shoe fits that. If he's willing to do that, he's willing to show violence and aggression against women. So this was an eye-opener. I was so shocked, but obviously those people who shared their stories and the experiences, the family, the Luton-based family, you know, the male in the situation. So he wasn't at the house, and his relationship to the three women is daughter, mother, and sister. This man, who is a local entrepreneur businessman, okay, he put out of his own money £20,000 as a reward for information that led to the conviction of this person, right? I always put myself in his shoes. What would I do if I was trying to track down this mental person who just launched this attack on my family? The thing that he didn't have was answers. He didn't know why this happened. He didn't know if it was personal. He didn't know if it was like a job. What was it? Was it just completely just opportunistic? What was it? Those are the answers that this man was looking for. But bringing it back to the women, horrible, horrible, horrible experience for them. I can only imagine the kind of like therapy they would have to go through, the support, you know, the fear, the anxiety that they would have been experiencing after that event. It's one man just destroyed 3 to 4 people's lives and beyond, essentially. The police, they had I think it was a bit of a slow reaction, because, you know, if you think this assault has happened, my opinion would be, what's this person's first thoughts going to be? They're going to try and get out of the country, they're going to try and flee. Now, Luton has an airport. It's the nearest thing. You can get to the airport in about 25 minutes from Luton Town Centre. Probably sooner. In fact, I've got a video showing you the route. You can get to Luton Airport just like that. The man caught a flight at 9 o'clock in the evening, basically 9:30, same day. Commits the felony, leaves the country the same evening. So it took them basically a year to track him down. A year. Through the power of social media and obviously patience, most criminals do get caught nowadays, so that is the saving grace. But it's a disgusting act. And it just shows me and reminds me of the underbelly that exists within this town of Luton. Now, unfortunately, or fortunately, shining a light on these things has to be done. Just Luton is at times the reality of what I would call Gotham City in the Batman series, because there is a lot of, you know, unspoken black market kind of behaviours and activities, as there would be in other areas. So I'm not saying that Luton is special, but in my experience, I would refer to it as Gotham City in some sense. You know, it's full of amazing special characters, interesting people who want to do well, do good, but there's also that underbelly that is just crime and danger and fear. However, it's for the good people to speak and use their voices and not be scared and stand up for what's right, just as Batman did in the films, and then all the other characters, Harvey Dent, everyone. Anyway, back to the topic. Now, there is an issue with, you know, criminals using this town or this country as a way for them to just build up their criminal enterprises, grow. Because what I find in this town is when people see something that's wrong or out of the ordinary, they walk past it, they ignore it. Maybe they think that they are squealing or snitching or something, but you have to remember there has to be some sort of code in life, okay? Now, snitching, if you are in the game, if you are in the criminal world and you talk to the police and you tell their business, you could be called a snitch because you are in that world. If you are not in that world and you report something to the police, you are not a snitch, okay? You're just a part of the society, okay? If you are part of that person's organisation and you snitch on someone in your own organisation, then you're a rat. So you've got rats who turn on their own colleagues, you've got snitches who are criminals but then decide to turn on their other criminals. And then you've got upstanding members of society like myself, you, and anybody else you can think of. You are not a snitch, not a rat. You have a moral obligation to ensure that other people are not hurt, who are not part of that game, and or don't want to be part of that game but are forced to be. Okay? If your information leads to innocent people being freed, looked after, treated better, and you are not a snitch, you've done your public service, you've done your humanitarian service, and I hope you'll be able to sleep well that night. So just to round this up, seeing that violence on that TV episode of 24 Hours in Police Custody, women being the target, you know, innocent people just living in their homes, in their lives, doing about their day, it just shows you that, like, some people are fucked up, they're messed up. Bad things happen. Good things can come from these events if we're able to unite as a community, work towards, you know, better morals, better living, and a more safer society. So just want to thank everyone involved in the show, the police officers, Channel 4, Danny, his family, because at the end of the day they are victims, so they deserve support, anonymity, and that sort of support. But yeah, my name's Tamar Lavender, aka The Business Bar, aka Red Hand, aka one of Luton's very own, and the community leader for the litter picking and fighting thing. So subscribe to my YouTube. This is just me talking. But yeah, 24 Hours in Police Custody. I'm going to try and do some more of these each week. Whew. Keep doing more than the rest. Saying fuck a 9 to 5. If you ain't about that shit. Peace.
Drop the bass. Drop it no. Wait there. Drop it no.
Just don't boom it bang. Come back round like boomerang. Boot and tang. I got packs, no ganja man. I got juice inside a can. Just don't boom it bang, ayy. Just don't boom it bang, ayy. Just don't boom it bang, ayy. Just don't boom it, just don't boom it bang. Come back round like boomerang. Boot and tang. I got packs, no ganja man. I got juice inside the can. Just don't boom it bang, ayy. Just don't boom it bang, ayy. Just don't boom it bang, ayy. Just don't boom it. On the beat, I'm evil. This shit lethal for the people. Fuck the gov. I'm not here for politics. I hold the licks. This a banger. MC Hammer. This shit here, that English grammar. Tell my brethren that I got him. I stay popping even when I'm in a coffin. When I die a legend, I'll be skanking up in heaven. I don't trust in evil. I don't trust in fame. Turn a rapper straight to flames. Hoop him like an MB game. What a shame. These man wet like coochie. Fucking hoochie. He's a groupie smoking like I'm little Tunchi. Ayy, me and them we're not the same. Different breed. I'm popping money chopping. If you love me, take me shopping. I just started. Ain't no stopping. I'm a bad bitch. I'm on some antics. So crank this. Just don't boom it bang. Come back round like boomerang. Boot and tang. I got packs, no ganja man. I got juice inside a can. Just don't boom it bang, ayy. Just don't boom it bang, ayy. Just don't boom it bang, ayy. Just don't boom it. Just don't boom it bang. Come back round like boomerang. Boot and tang. I got packs, no ganja man. I got juice inside the can. Just don't boom it bang, ayy. Just don't boom it bang, ayy. Just don't boom it bang, ayy. Just don't boom it.
Hey, I hear me, man. Don't play with the thing, you know, man. I want to do. Don't play with the blood clot thing. You hear me, I tell you. Don't fuck with the truck. How I do?